Hey, how's it going guys? My name is Pyro and welcome to my guide on the Wilderness Improvement Update. In this video we're going to be going over all the new content that was added in the recent Wilderness Update patch. This includes all the scaling locations, how to get there and what you do there, as well as all the new Wilderness changes. So first let's go over Slayer contracts. So come to Erskine here at the Edgeville Ditch and ask him to grab a contract. You can either grab a contract if you don't have a Slayer task already, and just do it for 20% of the XP that you would have gotten from these creatures, or you can do it if you have a Slayer task of one of these creatures and you'll get an extra 20% Slayer XP. So this basically works like the Slayer Tower contracts in Canifis, if you've ever done that. So it's basically the same concept, although you have to do these ones in the wilderness. And if you're wondering where these new ones are, they added them into the Forinthi dungeon mostly. That's also the Revenant Cave where you find those Revenants. And also be aware, if you're out there and someone kills you while you're doing this, they can actually pick up your contract, finish it, and then cash it out. The first scaling location that we will go over is the Divination one. It is shown with the red circle on this map. Best way to get here is to take the Wilderness Lodestone and run northeast to that location that you see in the southeast of the crater. Once you come into the area, you will find these cursed wisps floating around. You can harvest these at any level and you will always get cursed memories and cursed energy. This place works like any other divination location. You take the memories, put them into the rift in the middle for energies or XP, as you would do with any other location. If you click Weave on the cursed energy, you'll notice another interface will pop up, and basically you can turn this cursed energy into any other type of energy that you have unlocked. So basically 10 cursed energy turns into 15 other energy. So this turns into a great way to AFK for extra energy, and is the best XP rates at level 99 Divination. Next up we'll be heading to the Chaos Altar, located with the red circle. Easiest way of getting here is using the Wilderness Lodestone again and running slightly east. So with this update, it didn't change anything graphically, but the Chaos Altar now works the same as a Gilded Altar in your player-owned house. Although you don't need to light any incense burners, you can just use the bones on the altar for 350% bonus XP. Once you finish the hard task set for the Wilderness Diaries, this guy right here will unnote bones that you have in your inventory. So for example, you can bring like thousands of dragon bones in your inventory and just keep unnoting them at this guy, and you'll get some of the fastest prayer XP that you could probably achieve in the game. Keep in mind this is the wilderness, so you can be PK'd for all those noted items, but you can just take out like 100 at a time and then run back to the bank, which is just behind the area here. All these Cape Seller guys are now banks, and I'll go over that a bit later in the video. Next up, we'll be looking at the hunting location located with the red circle on the east coast. Easiest way of getting here is using an obelisk teleport and then running northeast. Once here, you'll find a bunch of charming moths. These require 83 agility and 88 hunter to catch. You have to catch them barehanded because they are apparently too big for a butterfly net. Upon catching them, you will get 650 hunter experience, 125 agility experience, and 1 charm based on the numbers that are on the screen. They're kind of similar to charm sprites if you ever caught those. Kind of the same kind of basic mechanic. You catch them, you get a charm and some XP. Fortunately, I'm too newbie to catch these right now, but you have to take my word for it. Next up, we'll be heading to the Rogue's Castle to check out the Thieving skill update, circled in red on this map. Easiest way of getting here is using the obelisk teleports scattered throughout the wilderness. Once you get into the Rogue's Castle, you'll notice that you can now pickpocket them similarly to the way you can pickpocket elves in Elf City. You just click pickpocket once, and you can wait and don't have to click again until they catch you. So there's 3 different types: basic rogues, rogue enforcers, and rogue captains for 12, 35, and 125 XP respectively. As I mentioned before, all you have to do is click pickpocket once until you're caught by them. Once you're caught, you'll see a red icon above their head, and that means you cannot thieve any rogues on that floor of the castle for 30 seconds. This means you can just go up a floor and continue to pickpocket until you get found out again, and just continue the process. Before we go to the next location, come to Mr. X in Edgeville and click Skull Me to get a skull over your head. Take off all your good gear and just bring a charged Amulet of Glory. Once you've got a skull, head over to the circle area on the map there. The easiest way to get to the bandit camp there is probably via the lodestone again, and then run west. The next update in the Wilderness Improvement patch is the upgraded bandit camp. So now you'll notice all the bandits here are wielding pretty menacing weapons and will pile you if you do not have a skull. That's why you need a skull to come here. So head to the back and you can check out all the high level scary bandits here. Head over to the general store and trade this guy here. He will sell you a bunch of high level resources for 10% off, as well as 5 bloodweed seeds per day. We'll talk about bloodweeds in the next clip. Once you have your bloodweed seeds, we're going to be heading to the new herb patch in the wilderness. I will show you how to get there in the next clip. For this method, you're going to need 57 wood cutting. Come over to the bridge and the canoe guy at Edgeville, just near the Grain Exchange, and shape the canoe into a waka. Put that in the river and send it off to the wilderness area. You'll see when the interface pops up once you put the canoe into the water. And this is going to be the easiest way to get up to the brand new herb patch. Once you get there, you're just going to want to run slightly north and you'll see the herb patch right there. And keep in mind, this is the only patch in RuneScape that will actually grow these seeds. So now let's go over what the bloodweeds are actually used for. So with this update, 3 new bloodweed potions have been added. The first one being an aggression potion, which uses a searing ash as its secondary ingredient. Basically, this potion makes all monsters around you aggressive towards you for 6 minutes per dose. The second potion is a camouflage potion, which uses a black salamander as its second ingredient. This potion hides your minimap dot for 60 seconds per dose. The third and final potion is a luck potion, which uses a crushed dragonstone as its secondary ingredient, and gives you the effect of a ring of wealth for 60 minutes per dose. Next place we'll be checking out is the upgraded axe hut. Easiest way to get here is using the lever in Edgeville, and then running northeast. So with the wilderness update, they have buffed the loot from these chests in the axe hut, so now you're able to get up to rune battle axes and muddy keys from them. After a few minutes, I was also able to get both, so the drop rate doesn't seem to be too high. The next place we'll be checking out is the muddy key chest. Easiest way to get here is to use the obelisk till you get to 44 wild, and then run to the southeast and get into the lava maze. With this update, they have also buffed the loot from the muddy key chest. So now that I got my muddy key from the axe hut, I went and tried my luck at the new muddy key chest. Apparently you can now profit from this, and this loot I got a bunch of black dragonhide. Not the best loot, but I think it should stack up a bit better when you use a lot of them, and this isn't quite the best reward that you can get. The last place we'll be looking at is the location of the Zamorak Mage, just north of the Edgeville Ditch. So previous to this wilderness update, the Demonic Skull only gave you a boost in the Abyss for runecrafting, but now it gives you a boost on all the skilling locations that I covered in this video. That would be Slayer, Hunter, and Divination. It also works for the Agility Wilderness course as well, and it kind of gives you a scaling XP boost starting at level 50. At level 75, it actually doubles your experience, and at level 99, it triples your experience from the Wilderness Agility course. Also, do remember it is fairly risky to equip this skull. It actually allows any combat level to attack you when you're wearing it, so if you're low level, I would definitely recommend you take caution. So as I mentioned earlier, there are now bankers that wander around the wilderness. These guys are in fairly convenient locations. There's one right near the herb patch, the new herb patch location, and there's also one just outside the KBD lair, as well as outside of the bandit camp. There are more, but haven't quite found them yet. They are scattered in fairly good locations though. So that concludes my guide of the new wilderness improvement updates. Hopefully you guys found this helpful and might convince you to go check this out if you haven't already. It does seem like it gives a lot more incentive to go into the wilderness, which in my opinion is what it needed. It was kind of a barren, no reward, high risk area at the moment, so hopefully this kind of turns the tide. Maybe they'll tweak it a bit more to make it even more so, but I think this is a good update on the whole. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you would like to see further Iron Man guides, update guides, or Iron Man progress videos. Take care, guys.